Man, it is not looking great for the NFL right now. What's up, folks? Fred Richani, TSC, your home for NFL news updates, interviews, and everything in between. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. The Detroit Lions have placed quarterback Matthew Stafford on the COVID-19/reserve list. Now, you might be panicking. You might be saying, "Oh my God, my quarterback is on the shelf." Not quite yet. That list actually is for people that either one have COVID-19 or two, have been exposed to somebody with COVID-19, which would mean that Matthew Stafford either has the virus, and God forbid he does, or he was exposed to somebody that does, and he is indeed quarantining for the sake of his health, his teammates' health, the organization's health, and obviously, of course, his family. Very scary situation. I believe he has 4 young children. If I recall correctly, his wife had a tumor removed a while ago. And, obviously a very scary situation. The virus obviously preys on people with pre-existing conditions. I mean, it preys on everybody. I don't care how you feel politically, whatever else. This virus has no affiliation. It's quite dangerous. And obviously, there's still a lot to learn about it. So it's very scary on that front. This is coming off the heels of several players all throughout the National Football League being placed on the COVID-19/reserve list. One notable name recently was the Minnesota Vikings first-round pick wide receiver Justin Jefferson. Now, he was placed on the COVID-19 list along with 3 other players. I think the Vikings placed a couple more, but it's hard to keep up these days. Now, I think the most high-profile player, period, to test positive so far has been Von Miller, although that was several months prior to training camp. If you don't know, most teams right now, pretty much every team I think at this point, is in training camp. Rookies reported, now the veterans. Just a quick programming note as well, by the way, we're uploading a ton of training camp videos. So if you haven't seen it already, we uploaded videos of Chiefs training camp, where we got Broncos training camp, Dolphins, Vikings, Jaguars. I mean, there's definitely more coming in. We got some interviews coming your way as well. But obviously, COVID-19 poses some challenges. Now, when baseball first restarted, I was excited. I was pumped. I was like, hell yeah, man, this feels good. I get to watch the Yankees, the Mets. This is awesome. It's a great time to be a New York fan. And then you quickly realize that this virus is still around. And even though a lot of the players are practicing social distancing, wearing masks, obviously baseball players farther apart from each other than football players, you quickly forget these people are human. And at first, it was the Miami Marlins that had the big outbreak. And I think now they're up to 21 people within the organization with the virus. And you're thinking, okay, one team, LOL, Marlins aren't going to be competitive anyway. It sucks, but whatever. We could do without one team. But then you find out there's the Phillies. Then there's the uncertainty with the Yankees. Then you find out the Cardinals have multiple positives. And all of a sudden, a quarter of the MLB is potentially out of commission, not for a few weeks, but if not for good, in a season that's already shortened pretty much half. And then, of course, you have the NFL, and you have the realization that, unfortunately, the NFL is a COVID-19 breathing ground because you got to practice. You got to be in close quarters. You got to hit each other. Now, granted, you could try to limit the contact up until game day, but it's still dangerous. And at the end of the day, they're not in a bubble. Now, Bruce Arians, who I covered his press conference the other day, Tampa Bay Buccaneers coach, he said, we can't have a bubble. We got too many people coming in and out. And he may be right, he may be wrong. The fact that the NFL didn't even seem to try to have a bubble, the fact that MLB didn't agree to a bubble, looking back with hindsight, I mean, that might be a bad idea. And granted, there are less players in the NBA, less personnel within the NBA, but so far, knock on wood, it's pretty good with the NBA, other than, Lou Williams going to Magic City and everything. So, look, as a football fan, as somebody that obviously covers football, that benefits from football coverage on this channel, I hope and pray there is an NFL season. But most importantly, above all else, above my enjoyment and yours, I hope and pray that every NFL player, staff member, employee, whatever, stays safe, stays out of harm's way. And unfortunately, if they've already been in harm's way when it comes to COVID-19, I hope and pray that they get better soon. That includes Matthew Stafford and his family. But folks, I want to hear from you. Do you think there is going to be an NFL season? Do you think it'll be pulled off safely? Do you think they'll be able to actually start on time? Let me know. Leave a comment below if you enjoyed this update. Like, share. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications because, again, we got a ton of training camp videos I just uploaded. We got a lot more coming your way from different teams across the league. So until next time, as always, enjoy the games and please, please take this seriously and stay safe. Best wishes, Matthew Stafford and his family.